Greetings of peace and love, everyone. I am Djehuty here on behalf of Djehuty YouTube page. Today's date is Thursday, December 10th, 2015, which means that this is a new video. This is my first video upon returning to YouTube, whereby I was on hiatus for approximately 2 years. Yes, people, I've been off the scene for 2 years. And when I say off the scene or being off the scene, I'm talking about not being on YouTube. I know for a lot of people, you're going to be excited to see my videos again here on YouTube in the public domain sector. However, this time around, it's going to be a lot different. Because number one, I've learned from the past. I've learned from the past in great detail and with great insight. And so this time around, things are going to be done differently. Big time. In the past, with the old channel, I pretty much talked about not everything, but a lot of things. And a lot of the things that I spoke about were, to many people, incendiary, controversial, risque, offensive, sexist, racist, etc., etc., etc. And all I was doing was expressing myself, sharing my views, my opinions, my personal experiences with the public. Most people were cool with the content, but others were not. And in fact, it was those others who was responsible for getting the old YouTube channel terminated. The old YouTube channel, which was called thehealthstore.com YouTube channel, it was terminated not by myself, not by the health store. It wasn't a business move or a business decision. That old channel that was loaded with great information was terminated because of other individuals, frightened, fearful individuals. And they went through great lengths to get that channel terminated because of the content, and pertaining to them in particular, truthful content about themselves as it related to myself, interacting with myself and or the business, thehealthstore.com. Again, I have learned from those experiences. I am much wiser today. Yes, I'm much wiser today, which means that I am still learning and growing just like you. And because I'm wiser today, I will do things differently. Now, I know for a lot of people, hearing these words may arouse doubt and worry. Why? Because those of you who are or were familiar with the old YouTube channel knew that there were certain videos made whereby I went ham. I went gangster. I just loped the hell up, following the flow. And the strange thing about those videos, they were my best. and they got the most hits. Random Talks, G Talks, and videos with controversial titles like When Her Coochie Stank. And I caught a lot of flack and slack for that video, especially the title. Why I gotta be titled Why Her Coochie Stank? Because that's the name of the video. That's what I chose. Free will. When her vagina clamps or restricts. And other videos. I won't get into the titles of those videos. And I know a lot of you are probably saying right now, well, where they at? Because a lot of people like drama. They do. Drama is great for business. It's great for life in the Matrix. And I knew that, understood it well. And I used it sometimes as a vehicle, just like I use everything else, as a vehicle to educate, to teach, to mentally stimulate. So I was involved in a lot of dramas whereby the content was so controversial and graphic. A lot of people were attracted to it. I'm more aware of the energy behind certain words and certain videos and attracting certain people pursuant to the law of energy. And I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing. I was using marketification. I was using YouTube to market information, the health store and its products, events, and other people whom I thought more people should know about. So I used YouTube to my advantage in those 2 years. And it did change my life, people. It changed my life. To this day, I have to credit my let's see, what's the word here? Well, let me just say it like this. To this very day, I have to give credit to my man, George. And George knows who he is. It was George who came to me in the early days and stages of dhealthstore.com and brought to me information of how to use YouTube to market the business and the products. I was reluctant at first because of the type of businessman that I am. I specialize in something called the art of selling without selling. And even though I was interested in the whole YouTube process for advertising, because I knew I had to do something different from what I was doing when I was the owner of D-Herbs and at D-Herbs. And the only type of advertising we did was radio, which is something they are still doing. I was interested in the whole concept, using social media for purposes of advertising. But I was reluctant because I couldn't see myself making videos of selling products or advertising or marketing products. Or let me say it like this. I couldn't see myself exclusively making videos about products and nothing else. No videos on law or business, astrology, relationships. I mean, there's so much going on in the world. I couldn't see myself just making videos about products. So I was a little reluctant at first, but I grew into it. And I did things my way, like the song, like the Frank Sinatra song, My Way. I did things my way and it worked. It changed my life. It blew dhealthstore.com up. It was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful time. It really took off in 2012. I started the channel late 2011. And in 2012, I was just on a roll. It was a great experience. A lot of people benefited from that channel. I benefited from the channel. dhealthstore.com, my stores benefited from the channel. It was a great experience. And I will be sharing that type of information with the general public using social media to advertise. I know a lot of people are doing it, but I know a lot of people are not generating hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. And it can be done. It can be done. Even today, in the midst of my former business utilizing the Steve Harvey Show to promote their full body cleanse, copycat version of my full body detox. And of course they have to know I'm back on the scene, number one, and number two, to set the record straight. There's been a lot of misleading. There's been a lot of fraud, a lot of deceit in my absence. And I do my best to live and lead a righteous life. And I have issues with fraud, deceit, misrepresentation, misleading, etc. Because I know the power of the mind. We don't have to do unskillful things, negative things. We don't have to create bad karma in order to sell a product. We don't have to harm ourselves creating bad karma in order to move or sell a product or to make a buck, to make a dollar. We don't have to do that. But of course, everyone is not mentally and spiritually cultivated. And that's another area that I specialize in and want to use YouTube to help other people to become more mentally aware, more spiritually aware, because life is a beautiful ride. It's a very magical, mystical joyride. The power is here. It's the mind, the creative mind, and it can get us whatever it is that we desire on our own terms and without injuring or harming ourselves and or other people. And I have a lot of information to share. So much. I have been off the scene for 2 years and I have learned so much. So much. I have utilized what I have learned over the years, these past 2 years, which has enhanced my life, improved my life. My life was already hunky-dory, as they say. But with the newly accumulated, the newly acquired information, my life really shot up. It's a magical life. And when you get to a certain point in your life, you are compelled to share that information. I remember when I was working a job in the corporate sector, I would play hooky from this job. The job happened to be located across the street from Borders bookstore, which is now defunct here in the city of Glendale. But back in those days, the late 90s, the mid 90s and the late 90s, I was very fortunate to work in the city of Glendale adjacent to 3 major bookstores or booksellers. Borders Bookstore, Super Crown, and Barnes and Nobles. And I used to play hooky from work at those bookstores. For me, the bookstore, especially the metaphysical bookstores, we're losing a lot of them. But the metaphysical bookstores, excuse me, was Djehuty's playhouse. To me, it was the spiritual crack cocaine or the crack house. The spiritual, intellectual crack house. And that's where I could be found. But in all due actuality, I could be found in any bookstore because I absolutely love and enjoy knowledge, acquiring knowledge, and for purposes of applying. Knowledge is nothing if you don't apply it. I love and enjoy acquiring, accumulating, and applying knowledge. It has changed my life. That's why I reside in a library. These books you see in the backdrop are nothing compared to all of the other books in this location here. I absolutely love and enjoy being here. All of my tools are here. The spray mist, the crystals and gemstones, the singing bowls, the tuning forks, my aura machine, that's Curlian photography, my music, an extensive music collection, a DVD collection, also extensive. I'm in school every day. I wanted to create a place that I could reside in that would serve as school for me. See, I didn't do good in the public school system, excuse me. Well, maybe I should just go out, just outright call it what it really is. Well, at least to me. The public fool system. Because a lot of fooling takes place in that institution and puts out a lot of foolish people or people who do foolish things. The public fool system that we pay for through our tax dollars. Of course, we pretty much pay for everything through tax dollars, whether those taxes are legal or illegal, constitutional or unconstitutional, we pay them as very good, obedient slaves. But I digress. I absolutely love and enjoy being in this place whereby I'm going to record my videos, the future videos. For this particular YouTube channel, the D Health Store Production YouTube channel, and my baby, which is the new Djehuty Matra Network, which is a subscription site. That's a paid site. And the reason why I am doing the paid site or the subscription site, number one, it is to secure the content. No more false flagging, no more lying, none of that. That information needs to be secure for the people who are interested in the content that I bring, that I deliver. It needs to be secure. So on my own platform, the content, the information, the knowledge is secure. As of today's date, the subscription is only $10 a month. And it is where I will be dropping the quintessential Djehuty Matra information, including the heat, the raw language videos, the G-Talk videos, the random talk videos. It's a platform where I can go ham. I can be profane or vulgar if I desire to be so, whether I'm making a point or I'm just flowing. It provides the needed security for myself and the true followers, the true supporters, the people who want the truth and don't care about how it sounds. That site is for them. So the subscription site, Djehuty Network, it exists, number one, to secure the content, because I will never take it down. Number two, the Djehuty Network secures revenue, additional income that I'm going to utilize in part to travel the nation and the world and put on speaking engagements, speaking events, which I do enjoy. And the people who come out, they also enjoy. And I want to do that more. And I want to hit more smaller areas, smaller pockets. Because I learned last year that those smaller areas have people who are thirsting for knowledge from certain individuals out there, and they're slept on. Those areas are slept on. They are overridden by larger cities, metro cities, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, Detroit, DC. But they have a lot of serious people hungry for knowledge who come out and support. And all of the little smaller areas that I hit, the crowds, the capacity of a room, it was filled to the rim. It was sold out. Memphis, Tennessee, that was sponsored by the good sister Shay. Shay's lyric, beautiful sister. Jackson, Mississippi. And Mississippi is my father's home state. And it was the first time I visited Mississippi. That was April of last year. I had a blast. I went there with my son, Ajani. It was a great experience for him. That was put on or sponsored by the good sister Alicia, or Alicia. A beautiful sister, another beautiful sister. And there was another small area, a city that we hit last year. What was that city? It'll come to me later on. But Memphis, Jackson, and there was another one. And the turnouts were great. I was inspired by those turnouts. And I said to myself, in the future, when I lecture, I'm not going to just hit Atlanta or Chicago or New York. I'm going to hit these places, of course. But no longer will I overlook or override as a choice these smaller cities for larger cities. I'm talking about Nashville, Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, and other quote-unquote small metro cities. You get a lot of love from the people there. A lot of love, a lot of support. And so I don't want to overlook those areas anymore. I had a great time in those cities. As a matter of fact, in all due honesty, and not taking anything away from Atlanta or New York, Los Angeles, but just being honest, I really had the best times in those smaller cities. I had a great time in Jackson. I had a great time in Memphis. I have a great time in most cities I go to. I always have a blast in New York. Love New York. I have a blast in the Bay Area, California. I have a blast in Chicago. Atlanta is like my second home. Well, I could say that about New York as well too, and the Bay Area. I just have a blast, you know. So the Djehuty Matra Network, those funds help to secure the travels. I like to make it easy on the people. I don't want to do too much because you can hurt people doing too much for them. People have their role to play as well. It's easy for people to say, well, hey man, you're making money. We see all those sales at D Health Store. You're making money. Why can't you just finance everything? Because that would create a handicap. It would create a burden on both sides. It would spoil people and could tax myself and dhealthstore.com as far as our resources. So one person or entity shouldn't always do everything. Sometimes when you have it, you do it once or twice a year or whatever you can afford. So periodically you sponsor free events, but everything should not be free. It's not fair. It's not fair, and it robs the people of empowering themselves. Because when you do things, when you derive things that you think you weren't able to do, for example, well, I don't have $20, but you put your mind to work and you come up with $20. It could even be $50. Maybe it's a workshop or a 2-day seminar, what have you. And in the present moment, you may think that you can't afford it, but you really want to go there. And so you start using the creative powers of the mind. You start using universal law, and you derive what it is that you desire and require, and you make it happen. That empowers you. I don't care if it's for a $10 admission. It empowers you. So if you never had to do that, then you are disempowering yourself. So we both have roles to play. I do what I can do, you do what you can do, and we make it happen. We had a lot of great events last year. I really want to give thanks to all the people who supported last year, and really who have been supporting since 2011. I really want to thank those people, all the people, and you know who you are, who has been down since day one, representing since day one, supporting since day one, because you individuals made it all happen. The money came from you. And I was in a position to distribute the funds, not just on the business, but also social events, movies. I'm into filmmaking now. My first venture was Urban Kryptonite, and if you have not seen Urban Kryptonite as of yet, I suggest you check it out, especially if you are African American, but anybody can watch Urban Kryptonite and derive a plethora of good information from the likes of notable health-conscious, health-informative individuals such as the good brother Dr. Ali Muhammad, the good brother Dr. Ali Muhammad, the good brother Minister Inky, the good brother Cochise, Sister Lashana Nicole, Sister Keisha Harris, the good Sister Queen Vita Amor, who's doing her thing in Atlanta. Powerhouse, beautiful soul, beautiful human being. Queen Vita. We had the good Sister Shamaka Namala Surya in it. I was in it, of course. It was a great project. And even though D Health Store financed it, it was really the people, the supporters, who financed it. Because my money is your money. You don't just give me money. You support. You purchase the herb. You purchase the intangibles, the information, the ebook, the e-articles, the course manuals, etc., etc., etc. And in the future, thanks to the good brother Saladin Assad, the CDs and the DVDs. We're going in a very different direction. So the Djehuty Ma'atra Network is very instrumental in what I desire to do moving forward. And when I get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm going to have paid content. I want to generate as much money as possible to do more for the people. That's my goal. I want to do more. I desire more money to do more for people. You know, if you came in this space here, you would probably be shocked at how small it is. It's about 750 square feet. But I'm happiest in this place. And a lot of you would say, hey man, look, you've been in business for a minute, read the articles, I've seen the interviews, and I know a lot of Skrilla has been made, millions have been made. Why are you here? It's because I want to be here. You know, like the Disneyland commercial, Disneyland, the happiest place on earth, which is BS, in my opinion, pertaining to myself at least. Because the happiest place on earth, for me right now, is this place here. And I do apologize for all of the vagina power supporters who think that the happiest place on earth for a man is between the legs of a woman. It's a good place to be, but speaking for myself, it's not the happiest place on earth for me. It's in a library. It's in a metaphysical laboratory and dormitory. It's in this sanctuary. This place here is the happiest place, physical place that is, on planet Earth for Djehuty Ma'atra. I absolutely love and enjoy being here. Oh my God. It's not enough time in the day, people. It's just not. I have the greatest DVD collection. Not movies. I have a great DVD movie collection as well too, but I'm talking about documentaries, conspiracies, politics, law, sovereignty, history, African American history, underground inventions, marijuana, drugs, the government drug fraud, money, finances, banking, sex, sexuality, spiritual, sacred sexuality. I have it all, man. And I can just lie on the bed and soak up the information. And after soaking up the information, let this mind, this Taurian mind, go to work and say, hey man, how can I get the information to the people who may not have access to this information, who may not have access to this DVD, who may not have the time to even watch the DVD. How can I get the information to them in the least amount of time and in a way that they can understand it? Man, I love it. I love it. So anyway, to continue to wrap up, because a goal of this new channel is to not exceed 1 hour. I know a lot of you are upset or may become upset upon hearing that, but that's the goal. Everything is structured. The random talk videos have to be limited to the Djehuty Ma'atra network. Have to be. Because I don't have time for the unskillful drama. I don't have time to be dealing with YouTube. I don't have time for that. I'm busy. I stay busy. So I don't have time for the antics of uncultivated, underdeveloped people. I don't have time for it. So most of my energy is going into the Djehuty Ma'atra network. And the Djehuty Ma'atra network will cover all of the subject matter that I'm known for. And sometimes in raw fashion. For a lot of people to hear me talk like this right now is totally foreign to them. Because, you know, a lot of people are used to my personal antics, you know, and my cadence and, you know, and the lips and just, you know, the gesticulation and all that I did. Even my man Vlas, who's on the scene. Vlas is actually going to have his own channel. Vlas is going to have his own channel. I'm thinking, I got to check with Saladin on this. Vlas is going to have his own channel. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the Djehuty Ma'atra network or YouTube. Because if his channel is flagged, then it doesn't affect this channel here. I'll get back to you guys with information on Vlas having his own channel, because Vlas has he's learned some things too. You know, Vlas has had some personal experiences that he would like to share with the public as well too. And of course, you know, Vlas is not the most civil, refined, coherent person, but you know, in between his crazy dialogue, he's always bantering me. But in the midst of it, he does drop some pearls. And I can't say he has been trying. Vlas has really been trying. So I too look forward to what Vlas has to share with the public. But again, he will be having his own Twitter page, his own Facebook page, I believe, and his own YouTube channel, or perhaps it'll be a channel on the Djehuty Ma'atra network. But Vlas will have his own thing, and it's about time. He deserves it. He deserves it. Continuing, there's going to also be live streamed events here. Most of my live streaming will be on a separate platform, or I should say a platform outside of YouTube. Basically, people, I'm using YouTube, which is a public platform, and then I'm using a private platform, my own platform. So you'll see both things. You'll see both will have content, but one will have unlimited content and raw content. I know a lot of people like the raw content. I understand that. You just keep it real. You get the information. You may find it hilarious, what have you. You just vibe with it. And I have learned from experience that you do have to have the proper platform in order to present like that, because everybody's not going to feel it. And it's the few people who don't feel something who move on emotion to destroy it or get rid of it. A lot of unconscious, selfish people. Hey, I don't like this, so, you know, I want it gone from me. Forget that 30,000 people like it. I don't like it, so I want it gone because of me. There are a lot of unskillful, selfish people in the world, man. And I have a lot of videos to drop on that. Unskillful, selfish individuals. There is skillful selfishness. I specialize in that. And then there's unskillful selfishness, which a lot of people out there specialize in. And they are the individuals who are wreaking havoc, not only in society, but also in their own temples. And I desire to bring forth a lot of information to individuals who may be like that, don't know why they're like that, but don't want to be like that, but may not know where to start, where to begin. And that's what I also desire to do more of this time around. Showcasing the books and the titles and where you can get them from. Showcasing the tools and where you can get them from. And the tools are the herbs and the spray mists and the crystals and all of that good stuff. The health products, the metaphysical, spiritual products, etc., etc., etc. A lot of ebooks, a lot of e-articles. I have a lot of new information that I'm going to release on the presentdhealthstore.com website, whereby you can download for a nominal fee. When you see Djehuty Network, these new e-articles and e-documents, it's all for revenue. It's all for revenue accumulation. To do what? To travel. To make it easy on people who want to get myself and my entourage to their city. They'll do their part, but we'll also do our part. There are people out there that if you want them to come speak, you got to drop that 357K on them, and they're not doing anything. You got to drop that on them in order to get them out. I meet people halfway. I meet people halfway. So if an event is 5,000, hey people, you guys come up with half of that, and myself and the various business entities will come up with the other half. And the other half is the money that is coming from the network, the ebooks, the e-articles, the e-documents, certain services, courses, what have you, and even periodic public funding from Indiegogo. Bringing up or mentioning Indiegogo or GoFundMe, whatever my partners choose to use. When you see me utilize those platforms for funds, it is only for things that benefit the public. Now, of course, much or most of what I say benefits the public. But I'm speaking in terms of films, in making films. I put out Urban Kryptonite, and I took a 40K hit. And that's not, I don't mean to say that as if it's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is I took that hit. I wanted to take that. I'm glad I took that hit. Basically, it was an investment, people. So I made a 40K investment that changed my life and opened the door for me to do what I'm doing now. And I'm forever grateful to the good brother Cochise, Tassa Rock, and the good brother Saladin Assad, who is now in the Golden State. We made that happen. It was a collaborative effort between the brother and myself. We made it happen. He's here. I finally have the necessary IT assistance and support that I require in order to do what I desire to do. The last go around, I didn't have IT. I just simply got on a Mac computer, Apple computer, and recorded and uploaded it to YouTube. But now I have IT for the graphics and titles and introductions, music, etc., etc., etc. So that's a first for myself, and it is the result of the brother Saladin moving, relocating from Richmond, Virginia to Glendale, California. He made that leap of faith, and it's the first time a brother did that. A lot of the drama that you guys witness on the old YouTube channel with Veronica, Alexis, and Karen, and sisters, basically, a lot of it was predicated upon what my man Sal did. It's different. This is a first for me because it's different. You know, men and women are they're different. And then also it's an individual thing as well too, because not only is and I don't even want to make it a gender thing, but Sal has integrity. Sal has integrity. And what I learned the last go around was a lot of the sisters were planning and plotting, scheming and conniving. Unfortunately, and that's just being truthful. Coming out here, coming on board, but it wasn't for the work. It was for the Skrilla Farilla, the money. And you know, people like, it's cool to desire money as we require money in the Matrix. But to hook up with somebody who's serious, I'm very serious with this. It's obvious I make this information work. And I've traveled, I've stayed in nice hotels, and I've had all type of limos, and man, I've had a great life from this information. And money, acquiring money was a part of it. But I did the work. It came in response to the work. And what I noticed from these particular females, these particular ones, because I would never say that all women are like that. No, it was these particular females who come from the hoods and ghettos across America, who are injured, mostly by men, but also by women, especially their mothers, who are damaged females, but who do have talent, who do want to help, I believe. I truly believe that. And I'll also say it, since I'm on this point, that from my experience, the damaged sisters, the sisters who need the healing the most, I truly believe that they have it in them to be the best healers. And that's something that I know and something that I see, which is why I gave the opportunity. I truly believe those who are most injured have it in them to be the best healers. If they could ever overcome, if they could ever resolve the issues, the harm, the detriment, the violations, etc. If they could ever overcome it, look out. And yes, I say that about Alexis, Veronica, Karen, and a few others that you guys don't even know about because I wasn't on YouTube. So you didn't hear about it. So those experiences, I look back on them and I say, you know, it wasn't a waste of anything, because how could anything be a waste when you get experience? Experience breeds wisdom, especially if you learn from the experience or experiences, plural. You have something in you whereby you want to see others succeed. You want to be different. You want to create an environment where people in general, women in particular, can come and do work and generate money doing that work. Because many of them are working 9-to-5s. They're working regular jobs. And the job is not a vehicle. It is not a portal. It is not a doorway that allows them to express the skills that they incarnated with. And because they cannot express those skills, they are blocked. They are creatively blocked. And so the best does not come out of them. Abundance is blocked. Prosperity is blocked. Greatness is blocked. And this is not an indictment of the matrix, because it serves a purpose. The matrix serves a purpose, people. See, there's lower work and then there's higher work. And most of us, we go through the lower work before we can get into the higher work. Before I was Djehuty Matra and had a D Health store or a D Herbs or a FIA or Djehutymatra.com, before I had stores, I worked a gig, man. I worked a 9-to-5. I did the unilinear thing. But it was doing the unilinear thing that paved the way, to do the quark reversal thing. Those mundane jobs taught me things very important in dealing with people and dealing with society, which for me was very instrumental because I have Venus in Taurus in the 7th house. That deals with public speaking, charm with public speaking. And so I had jobs that cultivated that. Not that I was going to always be using my skill set on those jobs, but those jobs played a role, and I recognize that. And I say thank you to those jobs, because I was able to express through those jobs. And when I became aware of the expression and how that expression helped to heal me, I said, thank you, I'm resigning, I'm retiring for as far as the last job was concerned, I didn't resign. I retired, meaning I'm never going back into that sector. I'm not going back. I'm staying here. I am going to make my livelihood. I'm going to make my living. I'm going to make a living by living my making. I'm not going to work a job and then come home and get on YouTube and make a video and tire myself out. Not going to do that. I'm going to get myself free and I'm going to dedicate my time to what I'm passionate about. The 8 hours on a job, the 8 hours will be spent expressing. Whether it's on YouTube, the Djehuty Network, or making CDs and or DVDs. That's what I'm going to do. And I want that for other people who desire that. See, everybody doesn't want it. So if you don't want it, I don't want it for you. But if you want it, I want it for you. Let's see. So it's going to be different this time around. But I think the most important thing is, people, to focus on is that I'm back. Periodically, people ask me, Djehuty, why did you come back into society? Because I had dropped out. I was a hardcore sovereign citizen back in the early 2000s. I dropped out. Why did you come back in? I came back in, and this is the honest answer. Because of Social Security numerology. I did the numerology on my Social Security number, and it was a 1. And 1 in Social Security numerology means the leader. You add up the 9 digits of your Social Security number. You deduce down to a single digit, and whatever that digit is, it gives you insight as to your role in the society. If you're here, you play a role. A lot of people don't know that. Hey, Djehuty, man, how did you get to where you are, man? I mean, man, I went to college, man. I was like Michael Douglas in the movie Falling Down. I did everything they told me to do, but I'm not free, man. I can't pay my bills. I can't travel, man. I can't get the woman, or I can't get the man of my dreams. I hear it all the time. It's because you're not in tune. You're not in sync with your natal chart. Or said another way, you're not in tune or in sync with yourself as revealed or expressed through your natal chart. You went to school for something that it doesn't synchronize with your skill set. It doesn't synchronize with your attributes, your divine innate attributes. So you have a job that does not allow you to express what's in you. And a lot of people don't even know what's in them. They have inclinations, they feel, but they're not totally conscious. And when you become conscious as to what's in you, what you possess, your innate, your divine skill set, your creative abilities, when you recognize those, life changes. And when you put yourself in a position to utilize the skills, the creative abilities, and those other things, then your life changes. Because the matrix is great. The matrix makes any and everything come true. Whether you are in the world or not of the world, you can make it. So whether that's Amina, you are calling me right now. Amina, you know who you are, Amina in New Jersey. I'm going to hit you up after I make this video. But I thought it would be cute to put that out there, because I know you're going to watch this video. And it's like, oh my God, I'm calling Djehuty on Thursday at 9:55 a.m. Anyway, let me wrap up too. I got 5 minutes to wrap up. And I hope I haven't been rattling or sounding like I'm rattling. I just want to explain to people how things are going to be. Like, hey man, what happened to the random talks, man? You back on YouTube, man, but you ain't spitting. You ain't coming with the fire, man. Like, what's going on here? What happened to you? No, I'm still the same person. It's just that I've learned from the past that I have to do things differently to keep it moving. You see, you get with certain people who are not there and don't have the integrity to let you know they're not there, they can cause a lot of damage. And that's why I really want to come hard with helping people to become mentally stimulated, spiritually conscious, in tune with integrity. Integrity is big. When you have integrity, you don't lose. It's when you don't have integrity where you lose. And like I talked about the sisters who came on board, they didn't have integrity. And I understand it, you know, and it's all love for them, you know. You kind of look back on things and there's a side of you that feels sorry for them, at least where they were, you know, understanding how they wanted something, but really didn't understand how to go about it. Or, you know, they realized like, wow, like, okay, I got on board, but I don't have what it takes to stay on board. And I don't have the integrity to tell this man because I want that money. That money is good. See, that's lack of integrity. And when you have lack of integrity, you lose. And that's why all those individuals, and not just females, but some males too, they lost. They're no longer on board. And it's been a great ride. And you know what? It's just beginning. It's just beginning. Things are going to be different. Also, too, let me say this in closing. You're going to see me doing certain things that, you're going to see me doing certain things in the midst of videos that I've been doing in the past 2 years. I've been doing me. And I feel good. I'm vibrating at an all-time high, despite a lot of stuff going on in my life, my personal life. And I will continue to do these things in the midst of making videos. Now, I know for a lot of people, it's going to look crazy, sound crazy, but I got to do it. And you're going to learn. It may look crazy to those who are ignorant, but when you do your research and you experiment, you're going to say, you know what? I learned something. My life is getting better watching this dude do crazy stuff. Like, this crystal here is purpurite. And there will be time you will see me put this on my head. And I won't be able to, like, really make a lot of head movements because the crystal will fall off. But you'll see me talking with a stone, with a crystal on my head. And what I'm doing is I'm balancing, I'm clearing my 7th chakra, my crown chakra. And I do this every day, and it makes a difference. And I'll use various stones. But this one right here is called purpurite, which is one of my favorite. Can you guys see that? One of my favorite stones. This is purpurite. It's untumbled, but it's very powerful. You will see me with the tuning fork because I'll be saying certain things, right? I may use profanity or vulgar language or what have you, which will alter the energy. And because I'm conscious of my energy, you will see me in the midst of a video use a tuning fork to balance, you know, to align my energy, to clear my energy, to calibrate my energy. Tuning fork. And you'll see me doing this. It may look crazy to a lot of people who don't know, but it works. And if you're into magnetism and you want to be a magnet and attract people, you start doing this stuff every day. Your life will change. You'll see me in the midst of a video. Frequency. Vibration. You'll see me with the larger bowl. Put it up so you can see. Balancing the chakras, clearing the chakras, clearing the energy field, the biomagnetic sheath, etc. You will see me doing these things in the midst of making videos. Tibetan singing bowl. So for a lot of people, a lot of newcomers, it's going to look crazy. But this is the type of stuff that I do every day to keep me grounded. I wear hematite almost every day to keep me grounded. I have to be big on being grounded, you know, because I'm such a spiritual person. My energy is 85% spiritual. And that information comes from my aura machine, which is to the right of me. I am mostly a spiritual person, followed by mental, then physical. You see me with the hematite bracelet, the hematite ring. Hematite is exceptional for grounding. You see my little hematite wand. Sometimes in the video, I'll pick it up and I'll just hold it for grounding purposes. You will see me pick up a piece of quartz crystal and just hold it while I'm talking to people, while I'm explaining things. I'll just hold it. You'll see that. And again, for a lot of people who will be coming on board for the first time, you know, they'll be like, "What that fool doing? Like, what? He got something from the movie Superman. What is he doing? What is that? Man, why that fool be holding rocks and stones? What's wrong with him?" You know, you'll see me doing these things, and I will be explaining what I do as well too, so that you can learn to do them. This is a rose quartz obelisk. Sometimes I might hit on a subject whereby I may need to hold the rose quartz, which has the highest frequency of the love vibration outside of the human being. Rose quartz. You'll see me with my spray mist, like balance. This is balance right here. I spray it every day. Got to stay balanced. Got the hematite on. I got the tuning forks. I stay balanced every day. I have to. I deal with a lot. I got my Love's Blessing spray, which is one of the best sprays ever. Every day, Love's Blessing. Got to let that love vibration exude, actually dominate. I got my Archangel Gabriel spray mist, which is awesome because I deal with the angels. The angels are big time on the scene like never before. But the angels are always on the scene, but the presence is more enhanced. You know, I'm more conscious of the angelic presence than I was 10 years ago. So you're going to see me, you know, using my tools in the midst of making videos, giving the information, sharing the information, but also taking care of myself, because when I wasn't on YouTube, when I wasn't making videos in the past 2 years, this is what I was doing. Listening to my music, my Stephen Halpern, and my Deuter, and my Jonathan Goldman, etc., 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 balancing my chakras, soaking, using my ozone machine, you know, checking my aura, you know, every other day or every other 2 or 3 days, ear coning, just doing me. You're performing enemas, of course, detox and taking the herbs. I do so much on a daily basis, and that's why I can be who I am and do what I do in this matrix, because again, I do a lot. I deal with government. I've had run-ins with the FBI, the DEA, the county of Los Angeles, and I'm still here. I'm still here. I deal with evil people who try to destroy me, and I've never lost a battle because I live righteous, and I have serious angelic, I have serious celestial support, assistance. And I use my knowledge and my assistance to teach people lessons. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of information with you, how you can protect yourself from people, underdeveloped, uncultivated people, spiteful people, scornful people, you know, people who are hell-bent on vengeance and revenge and destruction. I'm going to get you. I'm going to destroy you. I don't care what you're doing. I'm hurt. I'm mad at you. I'm going to get you. I'm going to show you how to protect yourself legally. I got so much to offer. Bear with me. Bear with me. People who got legal issues, traffic tickets, and child support cases, spousal abuse cases, false ones, of course. People who have financial issues, you know, people who want to go into business, or people who may have business issues, physical health issues, relationship issues, issues, the issues of life. I have information to help you. And that information will be divulged freely, and then others for a nominal fee, so that I can do more. And I still want other people to come on board to help with this work. It's just that nowadays it's a different process. We got to keep it moving. And before we can get people into a capacity to work and generate some money, we have to first work with them on healing themselves. Because people will lie to get a job. They will lie to come on board. They will lie to get a certain experience, to travel free of charge and, you know, go around the world. They'll lie to do that, and that it's not the way to go. You know, because when it's time to deliver and you can't stand and deliver, you got a problem. You're going to get 86th. And if you're injured, you're going to turn against the person who 86'd you simply because you couldn't deliver. Now, whose fault is it that you couldn't deliver? You knew you couldn't deliver, but you had no integrity. You didn't say, I can't do it. I only met one young lady who was honest, and she was Persian. She had integrity. And that's why we're cool to this day. Integrity means a lot. So I'm going to be harping a lot on integrity. Listen, I went over an hour, like I said, on YouTube. The goal is to keep these videos under an hour. This was an introductory video to the new Djehuty Ma'atara YouTube page and how things are going to be, giving insight to a lot of people who are familiar or who were familiar with the old site, to give them information so that they'll have knowledge and understanding and can go to the proper platform to get what it is that they desire and or require. So that's going to do it for this video. I am back on the scene. You know, dhealthstore.com is on the scene. The D Health Store Crenshaw store, 5444 Crenshaw Boulevard, is on the scene. Djehuty Ma'atara Films is on the scene. I'm on the scene, and I'm back. And I want to thank you for your past and present and hopefully your future support. Share the word with family and friends, or just people you think can benefit from this information. Share the information with them, this channel, all of the channels, dhealthstore.com website, the articles, the free recipes, vegan recipes, raw food recipes. Share the content, share the information. And when it comes time to financially support, like the upcoming film, Black, White, and Blue, about the wholesale police murders of African Americans in general, African American males in particular, support so that these films can get done. These are films that benefit the public. Now you'll still see American Herbalist, which is my baby. You'll see Dollar and Cents, which is my baby, and I just feel obligated to finance those projects 100% because those are my babies. But the information that's going to help you with police and how to sue police and just really protect yourself, the public, you'll need to support. You'll need to financially support because that information is for you. Because, you know, I have my interactions with law enforcement and, you know, I come out unscathed. I'm a dangerous man to them. So I'm not treated like a lot of people out there are treated. I'm dangerous because I don't need a lawyer. I can afford a lawyer, but I don't need a lawyer. I know the law, and, you know, I know how to, you know, be very daggering with the law, and I can teach you that as well too. And you can learn how to file lawsuits, you know, and there's a lot of brothers out there and a lot of women. It's not just brothers, but it's mostly brothers, because when it comes to the criminal justice system, you find us in it more so than anybody else. But this also happens to just men in general, white men, Asian, Hispanic. You know, we get false things levied against us from people. We live in a very gender-biased society as far as the legal system is concerned. And you need to know what to do when somebody thinks, especially a female, thinks that they can just call the police on you. They can just make a false charge and you lose some time, maybe lose your job, and that's just it because she was emotionally bent. Like, no, that's not the end of it, and there's something that you can do to teach her a lesson. So if it happens again in a different relationship, she will think twice, and you can do that. And this is not to be vengeful or scornful, what have you, but to teach lessons, man, so that people can be straight. Because the reason why we have so much government or large government or big government, man, is because we cannot govern ourselves, and that's our fault. And that's what I'm here on the scene to help us to understand more of. We fail to govern ourselves. Therefore, we have to be governed, and we're taxed while being governed. And while we're being governed, we're being screwed, and we pay to be screwed. That's crazy. That's like a prostitute pay you to screw her. That's us, the American people. So this video is the exception, going over by 10 minutes. It's an introductory video. More videos are coming. I don't know if I'm going to enable or disable comments. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm back. On behalf of thehealthstore.com, JehutyMa'atara.com, JehutyMa'ataraFilms.com, Djehuty Ma'atara Network. On behalf of all of those entities that helps me do what I do, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your past and your present and hopefully your future support. Peace and love.